According to a person with knowledge of the situation, the players' union proposal would allegedly result in projected losses of $460 million over the life.
The WNBA is reportedly facing a potential $460 million loss if ownership agrees to the Players Association's latest unprecedented demands. What we're seeing unfold right now isn't just a routine labor dispute. It's a full-blown financial standoff that could threaten the entire 2026 season. Superstar players are issuing public ultimatums. Ownership groups are signaling they may shut operations down, and a new rival basketball league is quietly positioning itself to lure away top talent. But beneath all the headlines and heated negotiations lies an uncomfortable reality that much of the mainstream sports media seems reluctant to address openly. The players are pushing for a significantly larger share of league revenue. Yet a massive portion of that recent financial growth has been driven by the arrival of one transformative rookie. As tensions escalate, the math behind a possible lockout raises serious questions about the league's financial stability and what the future of women's professional basketball.
Calling out the WNBA owners to a standoff for the CBA negotiations. She's basically saying, hey, somebody's gonna have to fold and it ain't gonna be us. This is the nasty rhetoric.
Someone is going to have to fold, and this isn't some routine negotiation tactic. It feels more like a declaration of war. Welcome to the business of modern sports, where polished public relations statements mean very little and the money trail reveals the real story. Today, we're breaking down the economic flaw tearing the WNBA apart, the deeper strategy behind the new unrivaled league, and why billionaire Mark Cuban has stepped in to highlight a fundamental reality that could either rescue women's professional basketball or permanently damage it. To understand why the WNBA appears to be on the brink of collapse, we have to start with a moment that ignited the tension. Napheesa Collier, a five-time All-Star for the Minnesota Lynx and vice president of the WNBA Players Association, recently gave an interview while promoting a partnership with Icy Hot, and instead of following the usual media script, she delivered a direct challenge to ownership. She stated clearly that someone is going to have to fold, and it will not be the players. But to understand her confidence in pushing the league toward a standoff, you have to examine her broader business interests. Collier is not just a player. She is also the co-founder of Unrivaled, a newly launched, well-funded 3-on-3 women's basketball league designed to keep players in the United States and pay them substantial off-season salaries. The conflict of interest is hard to ignore. A key executive of a competing league is also serving on the WNBA Players Association negotiating board while urging the WNBA to back down. Analysts are now asking a difficult question. Does she truly want a collective bargaining agreement finalized, or would a lockout actually benefit her alternative venture? If the 2026 WNBA season were delayed or canceled, Unrivaled would immediately gain media attention, corporate sponsorship opportunities, and access to players seeking income. From a business standpoint, it's a strategic move. For the WNBA's legacy, it could be dangerous. So, what exactly is a union demanding that its ownership prepare to shut everything down? The numbers highlight a major disconnect between how the players value the league and what the financial statements reflect. The Players Union recently submitted a counterproposal responding to the league's February 7th offer, requesting 25% of the league's gross revenue in the first year, increasing to an average of approximately 27.5% over the duration of the agreement. In addition, they are asking for a salary cap close to $9.5 million and continued subsidized housing benefits for early career players. In leagues like the NBA or NFL, a 25% revenue share might sound low, since men's leagues often operate around a 50-50 split of basketball-related income. However, the WNBA
person with knowledge of the situation, the players' union proposal would allegedly result in projected losses of $460 million over the lifetime of that agreement for WNBA teams. And you remember, it was at a $700 million loss for the 30%.
$460 million in projected losses over the life of the agreement. You cannot run a sustainable sports franchise while hemorrhaging $500 million just to satisfy a union. The owners even counter with an offer giving players over 70% of the league and team net value. Net value refers to actual profits, yet the players rejected it outright. They aren't interested in a share of profits because In many markets, operating profits are minimal or even non-existent. Instead, they're demanding a percentage of the gross revenue, the top-line money, before arena fees are paid, before marketing budgets are deducted, before front office salaries are covered, and before the massive new charter flight expenses are accounted for. And this brings us to the elephant in the room, the very heart of the debate. Why is gross revenue suddenly so high that players are willing to gamble their entire livelihood to claim a share immediately? The answer comes down to just two words.
All trying to eat out of Caitlin Clark's pie. Let's be real here. Caitlin Clark served this dish up on a platter for you guys like it was Thanksgiving, and all y'all doing is messing up the food at this point. Y'all messing up the food.
To every star college player, joining the WNBA means taking a pay cut. Let that fact sink in. The professional league literally pays less than the amateur ranks. Cuban highlighted that top college players in power conferences are currently earning anywhere from $500,000 to $1.2 million a year through name, image, and likeness nil deals. In college, housing is covered, meals are subsidized, and private charters funded by mega donors are standard. They're essentially treated like royalty, backed by massive alumni networks. But once they graduate and enter the WNBA, they hit a financial wall. Teams lack massive local TV syndication deals or the high-margin ticket revenue NBA franchises enjoy. WNBA teams cannot simply cut million-dollar checks from operating cash flow without risking closure. Screaming at owners won't change that. Cuban didn't just point out the problem. He proposed a transformative solution. Instead of forcing the WNBA to pay higher salaries from gross revenue, the league could adopt a college-style nil model. Individual franchises could secure direct sponsorship for players from local or national companies. In the NBA, paying a player via sponsor directly would violate the collective bargaining agreement, but Cuban argues the WNBA should allow it. Teams could use third-party corporate money to supplement base salaries without burdening league finances. Critics worry this would give big markets like New York or Los Angeles an unfair advantage, but Cuban suggests revenue sharing. A portion of all corporate nil money would go into a central pool distributed across smaller market teams, similar to the NBA's approach with jersey patch sponsorships. Cuban's message is clear. Stop fighting over a shrinking pie. Bring in outside corporate billions to fund player salaries. Until the collective bargaining agreement allows this kind of innovative financial structure, the WNBA and its players remain locked in a deadly stalemate. The 2026 season, scheduled to start May 8th, faces huge logistical challenges. Expansion draft in Toronto and Portland, chaotic free agency, and the 2026 draft. None of this can proceed smoothly if players threaten to walk out. As Napheesa Collier stated, players want to play. This is their livelihood and passion, but public rhetoric that dares owners to fold risks alienating the very fans who made the league's recent surge possible. If the union refuses a compromise and billionaire owners refuse a $460 million loss, a lockout could cancel the 2026 season. By demanding what they feel they are owed immediately, the players may jeopardize the platform that finally brought them mainstream fame. Millions of new fans came to watch Caitlin Clark play, and they could turn back to the NBA or college basketball. The NBA spent 40 years building its economic foundation and navigating labor disputes before players earned supermax contracts.